Hey guys, good morning. It is, well, just barely morning on a Tuesday, and Kamala Harris has just picked Minnesota Governor Walz as her running mate for the thing, and we're gonna get a photo of her getting on to Marine 2. But that's not for a couple hours, so let's go get some lunch and just wander around down Embassy Row here. We're in front of the British Embassy, where Winston Churchill's statue is out there. Now, as I mentioned before, one foot of Winston Churchill's statue is on British Embassy soil, and the other foot's on American soil, as Winston Churchill was, well, half American. His mom was an American. But looking across from him is Nelson Mandela, and that is the South African Embassy. He's up there with his fist up, looking at Churchill's thing. That's the former Iranian embassy over there, currently unoccupied since they took our embassy in 1979. We basically seized their embassy. Embassy of the plurinational state of Bolivia, which is a pretty funky name for a country. And what do we got next? Then the Embaixado, or whatever, I can't say Portuguese. The Embassy of Brazil is this modern glass and steel looking thing that's just sort of squeezed in here. There you go, there's a good view of it. And it's next door to the Brazilian ambassador's house, which I think used to be the Brazilian embassy, but then they just decided the ambassador would take over the whole house. That's that big sucker right there. That's the Iranian ambassador's house, the Shah's ambassador. It is massive. It was quite the party scene in the 70s in Washington. Everybody would go down there for big events. And down this way, we just go into the woods. Yeah, let's go hike in the woods back behind Bill and Hillary Clinton's house and make our way to get some lunch. Yeah, because we've got a good hour or two to kill before Marine 2 rolls in. Okay, so this is the Massachusetts Avenue Bridge, which I guess has a name, the Charles C. Glover Memorial Bridge. Never knew that was the name of the bridge. But there's a mosque over there, the Washington Islamic Center. Barack Obama lives behind the mosque, I'm not joking. And we're going to cut over here on this path, because this path will take us, well, over towards Georgetown and then towards Rocklands, where we're going to have some barbecue today. Pulled chicken and fries. I'm already tasting it, but it's still too far away. Let's just hike this path, yeah? So this is part of Rock Creek Park that we're in right now. Eventually we're going to loop out and join what's known as the Glover Archibald Trail. And I think there's a name for the little trail that connects the two. But basically, to the wildlife, they don't care. It's all Rock Creek or whatever. It's all trees. Now, up to my right is the Italian embassy. We can't really see it because of the trees right now. And then up over there is the Danish embassy. And the ambassador from Denmark has also got a pad up there. But again, one of those tree things. You can see their fence. They got a big old wrought iron fence back here. So there's a little cave in there. Oh, wow, look at that tree that fell. The tree fell and took part of the ravine with it. Okay, let's just keep going back here. We're going to go back behind Dumbarton Oaks, which is a beautiful garden in Georgetown, and walk along the creek that's back here. It's hot today, guys. It's like 90 something and really humid. We're going to get those storms that the south is getting today from that hurricane. They're going to blow up here in the next 48 hours or so. Cool this place down, but we're going to get pretty wet end of the week. Oh well, c'est la vie. Those of you who remember me from Hong Kong, this is a common scene. I used to take you guys on hikes all over Hong Kong. You might not believe it, but Hong Kong has some of the best hiking in the world. I'm not kidding you. Most of you think Hong Kong is just a bunch of buildings jammed on top of each other. And yeah, there are those parts. But the rest of the island and the rest of the new territories and whatnot, it's incredibly rural. Like 75% undeveloped mountains, beaches, mountains, and jungle. That's what I say, jungle, mountains, and beaches. And there are paths that go 20, 30 miles across Hong Kong and up and down those hills. My favorite was the Twins. That's a legendary urban hiking in the whole world. Hiking the Twins in Hong Kong is something you should really do. It does have 1,200 steps. So, yeah, a little bit of a pain. It's known as the Twins because you go up one, then down, and then up another. It's kind of like, yeah, come on, guys. Bulldoze this. All right, let's keep going down here. Okay, let's get up and around. There we go. Park restoration in progress. So that's been going on for a couple of years. It's a beautiful stone bridge here. Most of the other bridges are basically just a log. There's like little waterfalls down here. I think we've had a drought in BC until lately. Oh, now up these steps, you go to, not Wisteria, Forsythia. That's Forsythia Hill. And all the plants up there are forsythias. And in the spring, it is just a sea of yellow. Amazing view, Forsythia Hill. I brought you here a couple times in the past. We'll hit it next spring as well. God, I'm already talking about spring and it's only August. The dog days of August. All right, here comes one of those log bridges. It works. Okay, sadly the uphill portion of this is all exposed, not enough trees giving us any shade. So let's hike up this, sweat a bit, and then go get some rocklands, yeah? Cool. Okay guys, we gave up on this walking stuff. It's just too hot. We want a nice breeze. So we're on a scooter and we're gonna scooch our way from what I guess you could call North Georgetown to Glover Park. Just about 6-8 blocks away. Yeah, it works. So this is Wisconsin Avenue. And this is our Trader Joe's for the neighborhood. Up there is DC News Now. That's like a local all news station. That's building right there. I think it used to be the WB or CW, whatever that is. But I run into them a lot when I go to fires and murders and stuff like that. They always have a crew on scene for that sort of stuff. Now this building with the little pyramid on the top, I think this is actually technically an embassy. I want to say Switzerland or something, but I'm not sure. It's like their consular affairs office or something, but there are like diplomatic signs, embassy compound, diplomat only, and stuff like that. Passport pickup for some country, I don't know which, in the Regency. Oh, China visa services, so yeah. Now over in this building is the China visa office. That's where you get a visa to go to China. And basically, everyone needs a visa to go to China. So, quite a bit of paperwork. Okay guys, another yummy lunch at Rockland's, and we are now back on a bicycle over here at the Naval Academy. Now, some of you may have heard of a guy named Henry Rollins. He was a big punk rocker in the late 70s and 80s. But what you might not know is that Henry Rollins' first band got their start here at the United States Naval Observatory. I believe in that house right there, in the garage. So Henry Rollins had a drummer whose dad was an admiral and was in charge of the Naval Observatory. And they used to practice in the garage, their punk rock band, before he went on to more greatness as a punk rocker. Don't know what happened to the drummer. I gotta double check that story, but yeah, Henry Rollins and his little punk rock band used to play here at the Naval Observatory. He also played in Georgetown, and he worked at a record shop down in Georgetown. Kind of cool. DC actually has a pretty cool punk rock history, including bands like Bad Brains, who was one of like the first African-American punk rock band. Anyway, random tidbits from the U.S. Naval Observatory. Let's head down this way and see what's new. Okay, back on a bike. There is the Washington Islamic Center I showed you earlier before we were hiking. We're back on Mass Avenue, Embassy Row, making our way downtown, probably down by Engine Company number 1, because they're the guys that are going to staff one of the foam units that's coming up here. And we'll see if they're in station or if they've already rolled out to the detail. That is the Turkish embassy over there on the left. And this is the Indian embassy consulate, where you go to get visas and stuff. This is the Japanese embassy. Very sleek and modern looking. But they have a more traditional embassy, their old embassy, which is down here. This was the part, I believe, where they were burning documents on December 7th, 1941. The FBI observed them burning secret caches of documents just before or just after the attack on Pearl Harbor. Under the tree, that is the Venezuelan ambassador's residence, but he doesn't live there right now. We don't have good relations with Venezuela. This is the South Korean embassy, right next to Japan. This is the Mexican mission to the Organization of the American States, if I think so, yeah. That's like not a diplomatic, it's a diplomatic post, but not an embassy. Ivory Coast, I think is this one with the elephant, yeah, Côte d'Ivoire. And over there is Chad. So the flag looks like Romania. It's actually Chad. And the Republic of Malawi. United Arab Emirates Education Ministry, and that's the Cameroon Embassy, Croatian Embassy right next to them. This is the Korean Cultural Center. This is where they do K-pop. Seriously, they give K-pop lessons here. It's pretty cool. And keep going down. That's the former Pakistani embassy. They moved. They still have the property, and that's next to Haiti. That's the Haitian embassy, and then the Chilean embassy right there. Then the Egyptian ambassador, the Filipino ambassador, and Kenya, and I think Albania. And then I think this is the Korean consulate. And Latvia. And the Turkish ambassador, Romanians, and then the Irish embassy. Now over here in this circle is a marker for the former Chilean ambassador and an activist who were blown up in an attack. I guess you could call it a terrorist attack. Their car blew up here in this circle. Pinochet's forces were roundly blamed for that sort of thing. That's the Greek embassy over there. And who do we have over here? Sometimes you just have to look at the flags because they don't really have any names on it. That is Greek. This one, oh, they sold. It's for sale. Oh, under contract. So we'll have a new embassy there probably. Some of these places are zone diplomatic. That's the Turkish Defense Attaché's office. This is Liechtenstein. No, Luxembourg. I knew it was with L. A European nation with L. All right, Luxembourg, not Liechtenstein. All right, let's keep going. Over here on the right, this red house with the columns. This used to be the home of Ben Bradley, the editor-in-chief of the Washington Post. Lived there with his wife. What was her name? Sally Quinn, the writer. And just up the street was his boss. Yeah, she lived a few blocks up this way, so let's ride up the street and I can show you pretty much how close they were together. Dumbarton, oh yeah. So we're in the East Village section of Georgetown. This is the quieter part of Georgetown, not like the campus side of Georgetown, which can get a little boisterous. I used to live down there many years ago. All right, let's keep going up here across PQ up to R Street, yeah? So here on P Street, there's one house on the right. See that post office truck? Yeah, see the one above it with the pillbox window there? That is where they filmed this scene from St. Elmo's Fire, where Emilio Estevez was calling out Annie McDowell, screaming at the window. So you St. Elmo's Fire fans, you can go see that building in the movie, about halfway through the movie or so. And that house over there, the duplex, let's take a side detour, yeah? This used to be the host of All Things Considered. What was her name? She lived there on NPR. I'll think of her name in a second. I'm just blanking for some reason. This is the home of Bob Woodward. That one back there. Yeah, we missed it. Let's go around again. Yeah, the one with the car is Bob Woodward of the Washington Post, of Woodward and Bernstein from the Watergate days, and publisher of many, many books since then. I think he's technically the editor-in-chief of the investigative division. I'm not really sure. He might be retired. All right, one more block up this way and like a block over to the right. All right, so we're gonna go up to R Street. Mary Louise Kelly. That's it. National Public Radio, Mary Louise Kelly. She lived in that house. God, getting old. So, this massive property on the right, you can see the backyard just extends for almost half a block. This used to be the home of Bill Colby, William Colby, not William Colby, Will Donovan. Wild Bill Donovan, the founder of the OSS and the precursor to the CIA. William Colby actually lived down the street. But after that, this house was bought by the Graham family. Catherine Graham, the publisher of the Washington Post, she lived here. And she had many soirees here, many big parties where who's who of social Washington would show up to attend. So yeah, it was pretty close to Ben Bradley's house. and now Washington Post Bob Woodward's house, but at the time, Woodward was a just out of college poor kid living in an apartment. Okay, what time is it? 1:35. Probably should make our way back towards the Naval Observatory now. Looking at my options here, it might be faster if we go off-road with this bike. This is the trail that we were on earlier, the Dumbarton Oaks Trail. And, you know, it was kind of smooth enough for bicycles, so let's see how smooth it really is. It's also downhill and really fun. Woo. I do think I might have to stand up, though. It might be a little too bumpy to be seen. Some guy brought a scooter down here. That's kind of random. Maybe he's got a delivery. Yeah, mud. All right, yeah. We are off-road. Oh, it's really smooth. There's no problem at all. And God, we're saving a lot of time. I mean, we're literally saving. I would have had to gone down a couple blocks and back up those blocks. Now I'm just cutting over, saving mega time. Woo! Yeah, this is almost as smooth as a road. I mean, a DC road, which isn't necessarily that smooth, but it's definitely quite nice to bike on. There's some bicycle tracks here. I'm not the first guy to do this. Not by a long shot. All right, this is gonna kick us out right by the Italian embassy, right down the street from the vice president's house. And I just saved like 5 minutes with a 1-minute bike ride detour. Sweet. All right, up the hill we go. Back behind the Naval Observatory, there's a herd of deer. 4, not does. Looks like bucks. 3 bucks at least. I don't know how the heck they got onto the campus. Just been wandered through. Ow! I just lost my hat. Good thing I didn't lose my head. There was a low tree. Anyway, there's my hat. Hat recovered. Back on the bike. So we went back to my house for a minute, put on some shorts. I was actually just steaming inside. It was so hot. We're now wearing shorts and much cooler. Since we're not going in the White House or anywhere today, we can get away with shorts. All right, let's go down and get set up for the helicopter. Here it comes. On the phone. Here we go. Okay, guys, that's the day. Yeah, it's really, really hot. And I don't feel like going out anymore. It's like the third shirt I've worn today. Tomorrow, absolutely no idea what's going on. I think we'll go to the White House maybe. I've put in for credentials in case there's an event there tomorrow. And maybe it'll cool off. We've got those storms coming from you folks down south. I hope you guys are okay. That looks pretty massive. Thanks a lot for watching today. I'll be back again doing this tomorrow. Who knows what we'll see. Thanks a lot.